video. Today's video is about different kinds of Lolita rules and certain things that I think are a bit outdated. So, as we know, Lolita fashion has been around for quite some time already, and I think during like past 5 to 10-ish, well, at least 10-ish years, but I think especially during like last 5 years, Lolita fashion has gained a lot of popularity in like the mainstream kinda. And what I think is really interesting, or like, well, contributing fact for this is I think the Star Shine Bright attending the Paris Fashion Week. I think it was Paris, but like the Fashion Week anyway, where it was like with like shown with like I don't know like with other like well-known designers, and I think that is something that really put Lolita fashion more out there for the like normal people or like normies. Interest toward Japanese culture, anime and manga and everything has been on the rise. So I think in that sense also Lolita fashion has kind of gained more popularity. One thing that I noticed like only very recently is that people are really into bloomers right now. Like bloomers are very kind of in right now or very trendy. So I think that in itself is already kind of course like bloomers can come from the kind of like historical, it's not like Lolita specific, but yeah, I think that is also kind of like contributing um to kind of like the rise of Lolita fashion kind of in the mainstream side kind of. Let's talk about the rules. So I think first of all, I think the rules, the basic rules of Lolita fashion are really like good for beginners. They're really important. They help a lot with understanding the fashion style and the like aesthetic what goes into Lolita fashion. And these basic rules are just like use a petticoat or use a blouse with a JSK and try to coordinate so that like things match in your outfit. I think those are like very good guidelines kind of for beginners to kind of like get into the fashion. However, I think there are some like very kind of like gatekeepy rules that are not very good in my opinion. And I think during the past 10 years that I've been into this fashion, the rules have been kind of like people has been or have been becoming more like relaxed with the rules, so it's not as bad as it was like some time ago, I feel like. But still I think there is a lot of like misunderstanding and misconception about I'm a beginner and I'm so afraid to break the rules and everything. And I think that is very unfortunate that newcomers or beginner Lolitas are like feeling very scared about getting into the fashion because of the like rules, and they're like afraid that they will get like a backlash about like getting rules. And I think there is like a stigma related to a criticism or constructive criticism too, that people are very kind of like afraid of asking criticism or constructive criticism, because like usually I understand that like some people just don't want to hear any like criticism or like anything like any kind of feedback kind of about their outfit, and I understand, I respect that of course, but like still I feel like there is um some sort of like stigma related to feedback being always very negative and kind of bully-ish kind of. And I think that is, I hope it's wrong at least. And I feel like there is a lot of space for constructive criticism in Lolita fashion, but I feel like the spaces where it's given might not be very safe feeling. So in that way I understand that like beginners might be very like I don't know, like afraid about like others people's comments because of the rules and because of the kind of like label Lolita fashion, or like people in the community have of being kind of like bully or like elitist or whatever. So yeah, I understand that the community might not seem very nice and that is very unfortunate, and that's why I want to highlight that, or like underline that finding your own community, finding your own people, and doing your thing in that, in like a safe environment, is very important. And well, I am not a very good person to give that info or like that advice, because I spent most of my beginning years alone. I didn't really have a community. I found a friend very like kind of like late into the fashion, but I'm very grateful for her. She is amazing, and I have, of course, like now after moving to Montreal, I also got new friends and all that, and I'm like very grateful for that. And I'm so happy that I have found like people that I can relate to, and they feel very familiar, kinda, and I really appreciate that. Appreciate the people that I found and the people who have been around. So yeah, the basic rules, of course, like petticoat, like if you are a beginner Lolita and you have just gotten your first dress and you don't have a petticoat, of course you can go out, you don't have to have a petticoat, but just understand that petticoat is part of the fashion and it's part of the aesthetic, and and like it's okay to enjoy the fashion without the certain kind of look. Other Lolitas might not consider your coordinate Lolita, or like, or they might think it's a bit like experimental or something. And of course, like going without petticoat is more of a casual coordinate. So if you want to, or if you don't have a petticoat, you can go like very casual Lolita style. So it doesn't need to be very like OTT, you know. So if you want to be OTT, then you definitely need the petticoat. So it really kind of like depends on the occasion too. Blouse is another thing. If you wear a JSK, blouse is recommended, but it's not like a must. Especially if it's hot outside or you have like health issues or something that like prevents you from wearing blouse, then like of course it's okay to go without. And like your health and your like culture, religious preferences, or like guidelines and all that, like they go ahead the Lolita rules or the like basics. So yeah, you just do whatever you do and don't listen to other people or what they might have to say about your coordinate if it's not something nice. The outdated rules that I think are very outdated is that makeup would be necessary in Lolita fashion. I don't think makeup is a must. I think you can like absolutely have a gorgeous outfit and gorgeous look without makeup. I don't think it's like something that should be incorporated in Lolita. Of course, makeup can be a powerful tool to make your like pull your coordinate together and all that, but if you have like skin issues or health issues, or like it's just way too hot outside, you don't have to put on foundation or like makeup at all if you don't want to. I think this is a bit like more niche kind of thing, but I am very like pro sneaker Lolita. I love how sneakers look, or like normal like chunky platforms or like whatever shoes, how they look in Lolita. It is very comfortable, so there is that. I think the older I get, the more I avoid using like tea parties or like high heels or whatever, because like I'm never been a very like big on high heels, but like tea parties and like more traditional Lolita shoes are not very comfortable, so that's why I would like 100% prefer sneakers over tea parties. Of course, this again is like a matter of occasion. If you are going to an official tea party, then I would suggest that you take on tea parties with you. You don't have to walk into the venue wearing tea parties. If you need to walk a lot or something, you can just take the shoes with you and change them at the venue. But if it's just like a casual meetup with your friends or with your local community, then like absolutely just take these sneakers and go, because like you might end up shopping or thrifting or whatever like after having tea or whatever, and then it's just like you're just much more comfortable if you're not wearing like tea parties or high heels or whatever. One other thing is that size matters. It doesn't really. um I mean, Lolita fashion to begin with has been designed for Japanese people, and Japanese people are thin and they are short. So if you are tall, it's a bit difficult to wear dresses. And if you are a bigger plus size person, it's like just the the fabric in the dress is not gonna be enough, and it is okay to alter your dresses. You don't need to change your body to fit into a dress when you can like alter the dress to like accommodate your body. So that's why size is not a problem in Lolita fashion. It shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a thin girl's like, I don't know, thing at all. And that's why alteration is also okay. I recently watched I think it was a real video or like a short video on YouTube where like the video started, I'm probably gonna get like a lot of like bad things happen to me or like people coming at me for doing this, and then like she cut into a baby dress, and I was like, okay, like I don't like, I think most of Lolitas I think are okay with altering dresses. It's just that the idea of altering something has been so like stigmatized or taboo kind of in the community that people are kind of afraid of admitting that they have altered their pieces. And of course there is like good way to alter pieces and there is a like a less good way, but I think like any kind of alteration that you do on dresses is okay, and like you can sell your altered pieces as long as you say that you have altered it and in what way, and that just gives a new opportunity for the next user to buy a dress that is already altered and could fit their body well. So I think altering pieces is not something that we should be kind of like afraid of or like hide, because it's a fact that the dresses just don't fit and they're not meant to fit for like plus size people, so why shouldn't we just make them fit? So yeah, that is like one thing that I just don't really understand. Clothing is meant to be worn, it's not meant to be like stashed in a closet for the day when one has lost weight or like is small enough to fit. It's not for that. Like if you are on the bigger size and you want to wear a Lolita, just alter your pieces. That's as simple as it is. So yeah, I think in that sense, like size doesn't matter. Alteration is okay. Makeup is not necessary. And Lolita has well gained popularity, and with that, a lot of like new people are coming in. So we should be, I don't like less gatekeepy about certain things. Of course, like every like newcomer needs to go through the like Ida phase. I have had Ida phase too. I actually found like pictures from my beginning times, and I thought it would be like really fun to make a like an Ida face video where I could share like my Ida pictures. So yeah, I think that might be like one of the next videos that I'm gonna make. Sneakers are also okay, and petticoat is, it belongs to the fashion, but if you are just starting out, the petticoat is somewhere in the mail, like coming to you, like of course you can like go and enjoy the fashion without petticoat too. And also like going blouseless is also okay if it's really hot outside, or like if it's like part of your coordinate, that is also like one way to like make it okay, I guess. but yes, that's all the things that I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any like other rules or something that I missed in this video, please let me know in the comments, and I would be really interested in hearing your thoughts, or like maybe your experiences also, like when you were starting out in Lolita fashion, like what kind of experiences did you have with the rules of Lolita fashion, because I think there is a lot of stories, good and bad, related to the rules in this fashion. And if you're like comfortable enough sharing those, I would love to hear and discuss them with you. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel if you want to see more content from me, and we will see you next time. Bye!